next time.
When I come home,
All
my
right. So
dog
let's
is an
share now
angel
sa
sent from
ating
heaven. She comes
Facebook
running
page.
down the
Naka-share na yan.
mountain.
Dapat.
She comes swimming in the
Okay,
Tapos,
ocean.
let's
wait.
She
Ayan
likes
na.
just wait
me.
for the algorithm to pick up
My
a little bit.
little dog
Okay na,
is my
nasend ko na.
constant companion.
So we're actually on right now. Like we're live.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So makikita mo meron live dyan sa screen natin on
My
StreamYard.
little dog is an
I do see
angel
it. Hello, interwebs.
Yeah.
comes swimming in the ocean. She likes playing.
All right. Yan. Meron na mga nanonood. Well, thank you guys. This is a surprise podcast. Surprise kasi hindi naman talaga planuhan. Sabi ni Tina, ayan o, Francis, Coach Francis, gusto mo bang mag-podcast tonight? So, syempre, hindi dyan. All right.
It's super importante ang guest din natin, Coach. Buti
Oo nga.
nga, pumayag yan. Niligawan ko pa ng ilang buwan yan.
She literally asked me this morning, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll go."
Aray ko, sumasakit
Lakas
ako.
mo, Tina Ryan.
Hindi kasi, Coach, wala siyang dog. So, parang na-off siya. Like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna... di ba nag-iba na tayo ng format? So, sabi ko,
Right.
perfect ka na dyan. Pasok na kita. Diba?
Yes. Yeah. So this format has been under development for quite some time. Pero we're still improving. Pero anyway, sige. So hello to everybody who is joining the podcast. So let's get this show on the road. Mag-ano na tayo? Mag-intro na tayo. Okay. Teka, meron bang bumabati dyan? Wala.
Hi,
Sige.
Ian Lorenzo. Hello.
Yeah, that's also her.
We're fans of
Binabati niya
each
yung
other.
sarili niya.
You know, it's my first time on the podcast. Can you tell?
Well,
Welcome, welcome, and welcome.
all right, sige.
I love it already.
Intro muna tayo.
My little dog is my constant companion. She skips and jumps when I come home. My little dog is an angel sent from heaven. She comes running down the mountain next to me.
This is your favorite doggo podcast in the Philippines. This is The Dog Behind the Human. With me, your host, Dog Coach Francis, and my wonderful co-host, the Mrs. Coach,
Hi, Mrs. Coach.
and broadcasting from the other side of Metro Manila, from Mandaluyong City, representing...
Woo! Hi, everyone. I miss you, Mrs. Coach and Coach.
So, just in case hindi niyo sinabi yung pangalan niya, and if you're new to the
Ay.
podcast, that was Tina Ryan.
Parang,
Excited to
parang ngayon lang nag-podcast, eh, no?
When was your
Hi,
last
guys.
episode?
Oh, it's
We
been a
can't
while.
remember.
January?
Oh, really? Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah, medyo we took a break.
Oh,
Pero,
took a break
teka,
also.
Tina, because they're listening to this, probably listening to this media through podcasts and audio-only podcasts. Sino ba yung guest natin? Pakilala mo naman.
Oh.
Nagsalita na siya eh. So, they
Oh my
probably know
gosh.
the voice already.
I'm
Dapat pala may
sure.
surprise factor.
If you
Mabayad.
can even
Fine.
guess that voice. Kasi kahit ano naman introduction ko, parang ano eh. Parang na-mention na sa kanya lahat eh. Coach. So
Mhm.
I will just introduce her as my Earth Angel. Oh!
Wow.
Wow.
No, I'll explain more later on. But of course, with us tonight, she's a former TV personality,
Mhm.
radio personality as well. And now she's just we're both podcasting.
Just
and-
I'm just a podcast.
No,
host
mali,
now,
mali.
guys. I'm
Okay,
so
take two.
sorry to disappoint you.
Mali naman. Sabi, kasi si itong guest natin nag-ano to, coach,
Mhm.
nagre-research to ng info sa guest. Tapos ang ganda ng intro niya. Eh, hindi naman ako magaling sa ganun. Take two. Former TV personality, radio personality, and an awesome podcaster with us
Yeah.
this evening. The one and only Miss Sam O.
Hi,
Hello.
everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me here. Wow. I've heard
Call
of
her
this
mama.
podcast. Yeah, so many times. You know, we've been plugging your podcast on our podcast so much.
Wow.
And I feel like I
Yeah.
know you guys already. And it's almost like this is only my first time on the show. I say dog behind the human all the time. All
Like
the
the
time.
last year and a half, no?
Like ever since you came on to host the podcast with me. Yeah.
So more
But
than
anyway, hi. Nice to finally meet you and be on the show with you. Hi, everybody. Hi, Coach, Mrs. Coach.
Yeah, thank you for saying yes at napilit ka ni Tina Ryan.
Coach, Mrs. Coach,
Hmm.
i-share ko lang and all the viewers out there. I am very fortunate that I'm working now with Sam because it's been a dream since I met
Mhm.
her. In 2000, was it 2008? Back in RT, I
Mhm.
just flew back from the States and then I started, as in, literal na after one night of spending, ano ba tawag doon? Yung may, ano pa ako?
Jet
May
lag.
kind of jet lag, hindi ako makatulog, nag-radyo ako.
Uh-huh.
And then Logan was on. Si King DJ
Of
Logan.
course. Uh-huh.
And then, cut the story short, in-invite niya akong mag-guest sa sa show niya.
Mhm.
And then I ended up working for RT and then syempre getting to know everybody. I think Sam back then was doing the morning show with Gib.
Gib.
Yes. Instantly. Sabi ko, ang
Mhm.
galing nitong dalawa. Super fan ako agad. I think it was MJ who told me. Si MJ na nakikinig din
MJ,
yun.
yes. Of course,
Yeah.
yes. MJ, yeah.
Sabi mo, pakinggan mo yung dalawa. Sago ka na, sago.
Oo.
Sago yung tawag niya dun sa mga listeners nila. Sam and Gib
Sam and Gib's
audience.
audience.
Oh,
Yes.
Oo,
sago.
audience. So, sago. So, instant sago ako. And I've just been wanting to work with Sam for the longest time. And hello, lo and behold, look, we are doing now a podcast.
O nga, ang sarap pakinggan ng boses ni Sam, 'di ba?
Oo.
Diba?
Oo.
Makinig na lang.
Oh, I'm so
tayo.
shy to talk now. Oh my god. Really? Do you mean
Alam
it?
mo
It's so classy. The voice is so classy.
Bakit di ganyan sinabi mo sa
Oh my
boses ko
goodness.
yung coach?
Yung sa'yo, Tina?
Oo. Ba't parang wala akong narinig na compliment?
Hindi. Kasi si Sam classy. Ikaw naman, you're sassy.
Whoa! Why not?
No, but
Parang di
I mean,
bagay.
but we really cannot talk about radio without talking about Tina Ryan. I mean, she
Of course.
is the legend.
Oh,
And
kita mo, ang ganda ng introduction ni Sam mo.
no, because I've said this about Tina so many times, and I'm sorry. This is now becoming like, no, you're awesome. No, you're awesome. Like, sorry. But I think just as Tina was telling that story, I was also thinking about how I think I just never expected to be doing a podcast with Tina and the kind of podcast that we do now, which is a Christian podcast, and we both enjoy it so much. And it's really been one of the highlights of the pandemic because all of this happened over the pandemic, and she's been such a delight to work with and to just be friends with. Like, she's an amazing friend. And she gave me this mug to prove it.
Yes.
She said it says the world's greatest girlfriend. Like, she gave this to me. Like, it's legit when you receive a
She
mug
claimed it.
that says that. Yeah,
Yeah, well, she's
Pan-
awesome. She had
Pandemic din na nag-start kayo ni
Oh,
Tina,
she
diba?
made a big impact on the show as well. So ever since Tina came over,
you guys,
so she's awesome.
hindi ko pa birthday, ha? Hindi ko pa birthday. Save it for
Pero-
July.
All right. Well, before we go into the hot topics and the issues, yung mga trending topics natin about the dog world, I'd like to get to know more muna yung podcast nyo. I mean, how did it all started? Whose brain was it to create that wonderful Christian podcast. I think you're having so
Oh,
much success.
See, Sam will explain to you how many times I said,
um,
but yeah, please, Sam, take it away.
it's called the Narrow Door podcast, and it's something that I've been wanting to do ever since I came to the faith about 5 years ago. And I don't know. I think as I was coming to the faith, I just felt like I think I want to do something for God. As I don't know, the idea of like, ooh, doing something for God. Who am I to do something for God, right? But I guess just
Mm-hmm.
use, you know, um, what I have been doing, which was hosting, and kind of shift that into the realm of the faith. And
Mm-hmm.
so the Narrow Door podcast was born. Tina came on as a guest initially, but then, you know, like I love her being, she's seeking right now. She's not really identifying with a certain denomination or a
Uh-huh.
church, but she was very earnest in wanting to know the Bible and wanting to know God. And I just thought she would be the perfect combination to an already like very religious show. Everyone was kind of like identifying with something. And
Uh-huh.
I thought it was really refreshing to have somebody who was like, you know what, guys, I'm really not sure about any of this, but I would really like to know. And so
Wow.
I asked her to be a co-host on the show, and it's been so much fun ever since.
It's so
Right.
much fun that we're actually classmates now, Coach.
Talaga?
We
Well,
are
it
Yeah, like
sounds like
yeah,
it's very diverse in your podcast.
it is. It is. It's the term is ecumenical. It's basically, we try to just touch on everything under the Christian umbrella, right? Because I think that was
Mm-hmm.
kind of my observation when I came to the faith. Like, wow, I love this so much. But then like, hey, how come there's so many churches? How come there's so many
Mm-hmm.
different denominations? And I have friends because I was Catholic. I mean, I am Catholic, and then I had friends who were Protestant, and
Mm-hmm.
there were many other churches, and I was like, oh wow, okay, so this is the Christian world. Oh, how interesting. And then the Catholic Church also, the year that I was putting this podcast together,
Mm-hmm.
declared that year as the year of ecumenism and interfaith dialogue and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, that's an interesting angle. I think I'd like to talk about that. So
Dialogue,
here we
right?
are.
I like that
Mhm.
dialogue. No, parang I think that's what's missing in today's time. Now, people are not talking about their ideas. So at least that's one way. If you want to talk about your ideas about salvation and it's going to help you out, diba? Go ahead and converse if you have questions. I think Tina has been sharing some of her insights, din naman, with me, diba? I think it's helping
Oh,
her. So
nice.
if it's helping our good friend and if it's going to be helping out other people, especially if they're listening to the Naruto podcast, please, diba? Anything that would bring in dialogue. So I love that. You're talking about it. All right.
Thank you. Thank
All right.
you. And I
My
am not Liz
comment.
Uy, Mark. I'm not Liz Uy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the best comment we've got so far. Teka lang.
I actually don't know what she sounds like. That's crazy because I've known of Liz
Yeah.
Oy for so long. And I know what she looks like, obviously, and I think she's awesome. Love the way she
Uh-huh.
dresses. But I have no idea what she sounds like. Does she sound like me?
well,
I
you know
have
what?
no
I have no
idea.
idea either. Let's. Why
Tanungin natin
don't
si
we?
Mark.
That is very interesting, Coach. Ba't di tayo mag-ano ngayon? Wala ba tayong
Alin?
sound clip ni Liz Uy dyan online?
You know what?
Pakinggan nga
Before we
natin,
end the show,
ma-compare
tignan
natin.
natin. No?
Before we end the
Tignan
show.
natin.
Oo.
Big reveal.
Yeah.
Mamaya.
Tignan natin. Maghahanap ako. Maghahanap ako.
Don't go
Pero
anywhere.
we're also saying hi to Andrew Neri, who's been following the show since last year, since season 1.
Hi,
So,
Andrew.
Hello.
thank you so much. All right. So, pero I have a quick question because I was again I was trying to ano ba, do a little bit of digging up on Samo.
Oh,
Uh,
This is
diba?
not good.
Pero
It never ends well when it starts with
alam
digging
mo,
up. Oh gosh.
you know you're sikat. You know you're sikat if you have your own Wikipedia page. Diba? And it's been
Aw.
cross-referenced.
True.
Oo, kasi no one's making a Wikipedia page about Dog Coach Francis. Di ba? Pero
I mean,
Sam O
kasi
has her
sikat,
own Wikipedia page.
because
Googleable.
the word sikat is like, okay, it's
There
on the
you go.
screen.
Uh,
Oh,
What does it say? What does it say?
the
What
native
is-
form of this personal name is O Sangmi.
Wow, very
Oh,
impressive. They
do
even
you
wrote
want to
my name in
comment on?
Korean, huh?
Do you want to comment on that? Because it says here again, Korean descent. Is that correct? Maybe you'd like to shed some light on who
Sure,
is
sure.
Oh Sang-mi. Tama
Oh
ba yung
gosh, like
pronunciation
what
ko? I'm
you want
trying
me to
to
talk
butcher that.
about myself?
Yeah. No, let's get to know about
Yes!
Oh Sang-mi.
No. No.
No.
Born. You're born in. Okay, let's just
No.
clear
I'm
the
so
air. Biglang
uncomfortable.
ganun eh. You're born in Korea, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
But raised here.
Mm-hmm.
So how? I think she's more She's
You're
Filipinized
more
na.
Filipina than Korean.
I think so. I although my parents made sure to always, you know, raise me as like, don't forget your culture, your
Uh-huh.
language. I went to Korean school on top of regular Filipino
Wow.
school. It sucked so much at the time, but I'm really grateful that my parents insisted on that because I actually speak Korean still and I read Korean still, which I think is awesome. Um,
Oh.
I suppose I'm like in a weird place. Like when I go to Korea, I feel like I'm a tourist, But then also when I'm here, like I'm so obviously Korean in the way I look. But I think that bothered me when I was younger because when you're young, you just kind of want to belong to something. But
Mhm.
now as an adult, I think I appreciate it because I just feel like I have the best of both worlds and I don't have to choose one.
Wow.
I'm both, and that's cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's cool kasi most Filipinos watch. I mean, pati ako, okay? I do watch some K-pop stuff. So,
Maamin na si Coach.
yeah,
Oh,
ano
let's
ba yung
ask her.
pinaka
Oh, what are you into, Coach?
what was the last thing about the zombie thing? All
all
of
of
Oh,
us
us
are
are dead.
dead. Yeah,
oh,
super
oh my
cool.
gosh.
Love it.
Nasindak din ako
Wait,
dun.
all of us are
Uh-uh.
dead.
Yeah, it's on
Oo.
Oh,
Netflix.
Nag-trending
Yeah.
siya.
okay.
Yeah, so sabi ni Andrew Neri, I'll create one for you, coach, in Wikipedia. Oh,
Hey,
sige.
Andrew,
Sige.
yeah, please create one for me na rin.
While
No,
you're at it.
why do you think there's a fascination with anything K lately? Like
Are you
K-pop,
asking me?
K-drama? Yes. Why do you think? Kasi ikaw, matagal ka na dito sa Pinas eh. And
And then
you
you
have
visit
the
Korea from
best,
time to time, di ba?
oh,
So,
best of both worlds, like
Mhm.
you said. So
oo.
why do you think there's this, why do the Filipinos have a certain fascination with anything K?
I was on another podcast recently, and that one was really just about the K stuff. It was just about the K fandom, right?
Uh-huh.
And the question that they asked me was like, what is something that you still find surprising about the entertainment world? And I said, it's this whole K thing that's happening now. It's like so surprising to me. So to answer your question, I don't know why this is, becoming so big, but I think at this point, because it's been popular for some time now,
For
and
a
I think it's like
while.
I think the momentum has been building where the technology is also just getting better, the content is getting better, the quality is getting better, and it's all kind of becoming like a synergy effect, Like the more support, the more money it makes, the more it gets injected into just, the quality of things, and then it becomes even more popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. Well, what do you
Well,
guys like
maybe.
about it? I mean, you watch it and stuff.
Well,
Mga
ako
chinito.
yun.
Ang
I think the
baho eh. Mga
storytelling.
chinito.
That's the storytelling is very unique. So that's one thing that
Yeah.
we like. Of course, for the younger generation, it's really more about kasi guwapo si ganito, maganda si ganito, maganda sila
Mm.
sumayaw, di ba? It's
Oo,
just like
Mhm.
ako.
the pop stars when we were younger, di ba? Kung ano man generation tayo. Pero the thing is, I think this is their generation and it's just into K-pop. Pero I remember for a time it was like the Taiwanese F4, right?
That's
Ah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, the Taiwanese, and now it's just the
Oh,
Korean. So, anyhow,
Oh,
pero
that was
did you know, Sam, na
yes.
meron Korean dog na parang they're a little bit rare here in the Philippines. Pero
Chinduke.
meron
hindi
yung
naman corn dog.
no, not that corn dog.
That's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
one. They're super
Pero meron
popular,
yung
but they're not rare.
not rare, pero this one is rare. Isa lang yung nakita ko na ganitong dog because it's so rare.
Ooh.
It's called the Korean Jindo dog.
Oh
Yeah,
my god, that's
Chinduke.
so
Yeah.
cute. A
Yeah.
Diba?
Jindo dog?
I
A
haven't seen
Jindo.
one.
Are you familiar with this one? Have you ever seen one when you were in Korea?
I am familiar with it. I'm not sure if I saw one in dog, but
Uh-huh.
I'm
it
assuming
popular?
that I think it is. I'm assuming it's called the Chindo dog because Chindo is a place in Korea. So is that where it originates
Oh.
from? Is that why it's called the Chindo dog?
Um
Ooh. I'm Googling
yeah,
I guess
yeah,
I'm
it
supposed
actually
to.
says
I guess
here.
I'm supposed to be the one to tell you, but
You're actually
sorry.
correct. It is
Yeah.
an indigenous dog native to Jindo Island in South Korea.
Oh
It is
my
Mm.
considered
gosh.
one of South Korea's natural treasures. Wow.
Wow.
And it's
Pero
expensive.
Ano, may sinabi, only, ano yun, only dogs born on Jindo Island can be officially registered as a Jindo.
by the government of South Korea after an
What
inspection.
if
Wow.
but what if the Chindo dog is brought somewhere else and with
As long
another
as it's
Chindo
probably
dog and they reproduced it?
as long as it was probably born in Jindo Island, I guess.
Oh, you
Yeah,
guys,
well,
it
we should check this out, no? But it's really interesting.
for $2,000, that's a puppy price. Medyo mahal
What?
siya.
Oh,
Wow.
mahal.
Mahal. Yeah,
So,
pero that
okay,
would be
in the because I mean, sorry, I really don't know much about dogs. The only reason why I'm, I even like I don't have a dog. Tina loves dogs, and so because we've been hanging out so much, I am learning a lot about dogs from her, right? So all of this is kind of new to me. So when you say a puppy is $2,000 in the dog world, like where are we? Price wise, like is that mid range? I mean, I'm assuming it's kind of like high because you guys were like, oh, mahal, huh? But like, what is the range in the dog world?
I would say
that's on the ano upper
Mahal.
middle.
yeah,
Oo.
Upper
upper
middle.
middle.
Oh, what is the most
Upper middle na
expensive?
siya.
Oh my
So
gosh.
far, meron mga again, depending on the marketing of the breeder and the social
Ano yung,
status.
yung nandito
Meron
yung
yung
quote,
giant dog
feature
which is
mo.
not yung meron yung mga giant poodles which is not really giant. They're just large poodles with really fluffy hair. They're
Mhm.
I
being
don't like
priced at
those.
$500,000 pesos.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
they're half
Half a
million.
million.
Serious.
Uh-uh.
Tapos,
I
di ba
don't like
last
them. I'm
episode,
sorry.
merong 1 million.
Meron pa yung last episode din namin. We talked
Oo.
about the 1 million peso bully dog.
Actually, di ba parang mas mahal pa nga, coach? But let me
Oo.
ask Sam, why giant poodles are not your super favorite?
I find it a little disturbing. Like it's so I'm sorry. It's like because they're supposed to be small dogs and they seem so engineered or something. It's a little yeah. Is that
My
a common sentiment
My
in the
point.
dog world?
Meron mga
point.
ilang breeds that we find, teka, parang that's not really a dog anymore. It's sort of like a parang almost mutant na creation of man. Pero, yeah, meron lang mga ibang dog breeds na ganun yung tingin. Some people find it weird. Parang ako, I don't like ear cropped dogs. I mean, as much as possible, I don't
that?
like it.
Oh,
Are you
oh.
familiar with Doberman? Usually they crop the ears kasi naturally they were born with
boxers.
floppy ears. and then they
Okay.
crop it so it stands up and looks
Why?
menacing.
It looks so they would look
For the
Aesthetics
mean.
for the
looks. For
looks.
the looks.
But
It's
Yeah.
they're
purely
puppy.
an aesthetic thing.
Yes. Wow,
Yeah.
I'm
Really?
loving this episode already just by looking at Sam's reaction. Ano, she's
This
amazed,
is
di
so
ba?
fascinating, by the way. It's fascinating. Oh my gosh, it's a whole new world.
So yeah, ng ear
Oh.
cropping for pit
Right.
bulls, Dobermans, mini pincher yung Doberman na maliliit.
Uh-huh.
Boxers, I also do that. And I didn't want to. And even sometimes they cut the tail, di ba,
The tail
coach?
or cold tail docking.
Wait. So, but I mean, you don't have to do that. If you own one of these breeds, it's not mandatory for you to do that. But
It's
like, that's
not.
the standard practice, perhaps, like that you just do that. That's just the look. Like
Yeah,
LEWK
just for the
is
look.
the look.
The look,
Okay.
yeah. Pero parts
Yes.
of Europe, I think, have banned that practice already. Pero it's
They
a
should
matter of
ban it
time
here.
before we catch up.
Oo.
Yeah. Pero yun.
Oh
So
gosh.
those are the price ranges. Pero 2,000, yeah, upper middle yan. Meron pa mga mas mahal depending on the demand and the price ng market. So if there's a big demand and then a high supply, so ano naman, it goes ups and downs. Law of demand and
Supply
supply.
and
Yeah, supply and demand. So
Oh.
so ganun. So sa ngayon in demand kasi yung giant poodles. So
Kaya
Yeah.
mataas ang
mahal yun ng
presyo.
Des.
Right.
And people have money, like that kind of money to spend on a dog, huh?
Because
A lot of money.
I don't know, it's weird, no, Tina? Parang we look at dogs, at least for dog lovers, they look at the dogs as babies kasi. So they're very priced. And it's not about the, ano naman the price or the cost of the dog, of acquiring the dog. It's about, kasi you can have no money and then still love a dog and then you can just get any other dog and it will make you
Like
happy.
me.
Pero
Yeah.
syempre,
Me.
Pero
I'm the
syempre,
perfect
if you have the money, you can afford to get more expensive dogs. Pero in my experience, in our experience professionally, it doesn't mean na mahal yung aso mo, matalino na. It doesn't mean na mahal yung aso mo, the dog is
Oh, I
healthy.
love this. Okay, what is a dog that is super pricey but not very smart? Like, everyone be warned.
Mababash. Mababash tayo
Ano ba?
dito.
Wait,
I know.
there's bashing in the dog world? What?
A lot.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh, Sam.
What?
A lot.
Why?
You'd
Oh my
think that dog people would be the friendliest,
Oo.
pero no.
Nuh-uh.
Remember,
So
remember
much-
the
it's like
kwento? Remember the
much
kwento I was
politics.
telling you? Diba?
I mean, I suppose I
Guilty.
just thought, like, at the end of the day, like, we're all just dog lovers. And yes, we all have different breeds, perhaps, but we're all united by our love for dogs.
No.
And so-
Sadly, no.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, and it is the
Some
policy.
people are very competitive then.
This is a policy of dog coach Francis that we do not discriminate the dogs, pero we discriminate the owners. Yeah, we judge people na parang your dog is a reflection of what kind of a human being you are. Diba? So
Yeah, is that true? Like, does that really work out like that? Like, you literally like your parents to a person, like a human being.
well, ano naman. So we don't want to parang be blanket statement, diba? Give out a blanket statement. Pero somehow kasi
To some extent.
to some extent, na kunwari, your dog is a spoiled brat, diba? Who just whines all night. So if you dig in during our consults, so if you're probably gonna sit in, usually ang sinasabi namin is they spoil the dog too much. They treated the dog as a baby. That if it cries, mommy needs to come to see the baby. Pero the thing about
Bigla
human
nawawala ako.
babies is they grow up. Diba? That baby stops crying kasi the baby grows up. The thing about dogs is they remain babies until they're old.
Oh,
So
unless
the
you
behavior doesn't
correct
really
that.
change. Correct. So yeah, they remain to be having an IQ of a 2-year-old human. Diba? So that's their IQ. So kung ano
Got it.
natutunan nila, forever na silang ganon. And then syempre yung mga breeding din, it's very important So just like
But
in
are you
life, you can't
always
have. Yeah, go Tina.
no? I'm like you finish first, coach. In life,
Yeah,
you're saying
in life, sometimes you can't have cake and eat it too. So same thing with dogs. You can't have like the healthiest and also the smartest at the same time, or the prettiest and the smartest at the same time, and then also being healthy because life
You
happens.
can also have a smart dog and not so smart owner.
Oh yeah, you
oh
can have
yeah.
that. A really smart
Mhm.
dog, misunderstood, and the owners just want to have a dog that just does nothing.
But I tell
So
Which
Sam
one
all the
is?
time, this coach, na parang I'm the I'm the dog owner na ano, na
ano?
medyo masakit sa ulo. Kasi,
Ikaw?
oh, 'di ba? Ako yung hindi dapat tularan minsan kasi tino-tolerate ko yung aso ko.
Mini
Oh.
baby
But no,
Toby.
Uh,
you know what? I mean, with Sam's experience though with Covey naman, so far okay naman. And I
Mhm.
think Covey grew on Sam, coach, kasi lagi nga kami
mhm,
magkasama. Syempre initially, magbabark, and then hindi ko naman nasundo si Sam every day. So parang may mga ilang days in between before he saw Tita Sam again, tas nakama. So may mga times
mhm.
na okay, I'll ask Sam, oh, Mama, remove your mask or make him smell you first. Ngayon okay na. Peeps na sila. He
Yeah,
doesn't bark
yeah,
as much,
yeah.
diba? Oo.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And
Yeah.
it's almost like I am the owner of this dog. Like every morning I know which position he wakes up in. I know what he's doing midday. I know what he sounds like that day because Tina keeps sending me pictures and videos like 24/7. So it's like I'm vicariously owning a dog. It's nice.
Except she doesn't pick up the poop and clean up. So good luck.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Ibig
been good.
sabihin lang nun, Sam, you're a really good friend and then you reply immediately. Kasi pag nagsisend si Tina
She
sa amin, it
is.
takes a while for us to reply kasi we're just so busy.
Oh my gosh,
Right. I'm sure a
you have
lot of
20
people
something
do that.
dogs.
Oh my. You have 20 something dogs?
Right now in
Mo-
the
or
kennel ilan na?
more.
More,
Personally, they
more,
have
more.
7.
Mhm.
They have
No, we have
7
10 na,
personally.
Tina.
Oh my
We have
gosh.
10 na.
Okay.
10.
1 month lang tayo di nakita,
Wow.
10 na yung aso nyo. Ano nangyari? What?
Wow.
Who's the new addition?
Uh,
Yung
golden
mga
retriever.
unofficial, naging official
Naging
dog na
official na.
namin.
Oh.
So,
Oh,
s-
cute.
yeah,
Sino
which
pa?
means we're spending more. Yeah. Pag bumisita ka
Yeah.
ulit dito, Tina, it's been a while since you visited
Yeah, I know.
Parañaque City.
Nakakahiya kasi mama sa kapitbahay nila pag nandiyan ako sa kennel. Kasi yung
Bakit?
tili ko, pag pinapalabas si coach, sabay-sabay yung mga dogs. As in,
Alam mong nandito si Tina.
alam na nila, ay, dyan na yung maingay.
I
Yeah,
can imagine.
yeah. So, I'll go soon.
Yeah, sige. All
Mhm.
right. Now, I guess it's also time to move on to our next segment. It's time for the barking news. All right. So, eto, medyo sensitive yung barking news natin.
Is it
Kasi,
graphic?
well, it is a little bit of graphic, pero this has been reported
I
on
saw this. Wait.
cbsnews.com. Okay, this is a story of a tragedy and survival wherein a 22-year-old dog mauling victim,
22-year-old dog.
22-year-old,
I know, right? I was
um,
like, what?
no,
Teka,
hindi,
what?
kasi yung nakasulat dito. A 22-year-old dog walker was mauled by a dog. So, hindi ko na lang sasabihin kung ano yung dog breed kasi madi-discriminate lang yung dog breed, no?
Bakit
Pero,
naman? Eh, nasa news
um,
naman yun.
well, siguro it's actually a bully cross of some sort. Okay? So, ito
What's a
yung
bully?
itsura niya, which pinapakita natin ngayon sa screen kasi we're actually showing the actual website of CBS. So, this is the victim. Her name
Maganda
is
siya.
Jacqueline Durand. Tapos, eto na siya ngayon. No?
Oh,
So
it's that
Oh
after
my
a series of
gosh.
plastic surgery, medyo nagkaroon na ng mga skin grafting. Pero apparently there's like over 100 dog bites nangyari. And they thought she was going to die because she has lost so many blood, according to the report. Ito. It's actually not just 100. It says here 800 bites that she
Oh,
incurred.
Oh.
Yeah.
When
So this
was
is a
this? When did this
reality.
ilang
happen?
dogs yun?
Dalawang aso. And then the dog unfortunately was put down. No.
Well,
oh, it
So
was.
yes, kasi
where?
well,
Both of them?
both of them. Yeah.
Oh,
Parang the dog was parang meron pa din ongoing case with the owners because the owners did not want to take responsibility of what happened to the dog walker.
how could they not?
You know, and like in the report that I watched, apparently they hadn't even paid her for the dog
Correct.
sitting that she did, right?
Correct.
And
Correct.
then the silver lining to the story though is like, look at this picture. She's with her boyfriend, right?
Uh-huh.
So apparently he had cancer and she helped him recover. And so he's all like, well, I'm glad that I can be there for her now. So, like
Mhm.
super sweet. But
Oh,
when I saw this, I was like dogs can do this? Dogs can do
wait.
this.
Give me
So,
the backstory,
I-
coach.
Ah,
She was walking the dogs?
No, they were in the
Dog
house.
sitter.
they were in the
dog sitting.
house.
Oh, so
Oh.
siya yung nagbe-babysit dun sa dogs.
Yes.
Uh-uh.
And then siya yung inattack?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Bakit?
So
Ba't ganun?
so apparently the dogs are not really that trained. So
Wait, first time ba niyang pumasok doon or something? Or has she babysat the dogs before?
I
I
think
heard that there was an interview.
Mm-mm.
Like there was an interview where she came, saw the dogs, hi, hello, and then when she came in for the job, that happened.
Right. So this is a
So,
risk of the job kung tutuusin.
Yeah. But can you guys like help me kind of make sense of this? Because I think while I was watching this, I was like, I just couldn't believe that dogs can do this to a person. I mean, fine, she seems like a very petite girl.
Uh-huh.
But in my head, I was just like, it's just hard for me to imagine two dogs, maybe like pinning her down and she couldn't like do anything about it. Like, how does this happen?
Oo nga.
Well, again, the dogs kasi are bully breeds, and when we say bully,
What's that?
you're probably familiar with a pit bull, right?
The rapper?
No. Pero pit bull's logo is actually a pit bull. These are the muscular dogs that you see carrying
Okay.
chains. So
Kind of big, mama.
yeah, they're really big. They're
Okay.
very powerful. They have this bloodline of bull baiting, meaning they're so powerful they can pin down a bull. Okay, and not let go.
What?
Okay? So they're that powerful. They're really stocky, low center of
God.
gravity. They have big heads, and the bigger the head, the stronger the bite or the hold.
No.
Yung sinasabi nila naglalak yung jaw, pero of course, hindi naman talaga naglalak. They just don't want to let go. Apparently, these dogs, kasi this can happen not just with with a bully breed. This can happen with any other dog as long as it's big enough.
Oo.
So
Oh my
it's not really
goodness.
about the breed, but it's about how the dog has been bred and how the dog was socialized growing up and probably even trained. So this is a tragedy talaga for dog professionals kasi we don't want to hate on the dog because it's a dog, pero it's just unfortunate that
Because they
this
don't know
stuff
any
do
better.
happen.
Mama.
Mhm. Yun. Pero yung sabi niya pa nga parang after that she still wants to be like a
Dog trainer.
dog trainer pa nga. So
Oh my God.
which is really commendable kasi hindi na basag yung kanyang spirit. So she still believes in the dogs.
So
yun.
is it possible for you to own a dog and never see something like this coming? Even if you've owned the dog for some time, you can know that your dog could have inclinations like this, but just
Oh,
not
that's-
know that.
That's a good question. Coach, expert.
Yeah.
You being the expert.
Well, hindi the problem is with the pet parents. Sometimes at least some pet parents look at their dogs as if they're an angel. Parang nagkakaroon ng
Can
ano
do
ng
no wrong.
right.
Yes.
Parang ano yun, tunnel vision. Na parang,
Yeah.
no, they're my babies. I love them so much. They never heard a fly. Pero from professionals like us, ano nga bait-bait. Tignan mo nga, oh, nagpapakita ng anong pangil, oh. Stress na yung aso, oh. Parang, and yet, oh, look at my dog. She's so cute. Oh my goodness.
Oo,
So,
kung minsan pag may gustong magpa-train, ang tinatanong ko, kumusta yung behavior ng dog? Sabi nila, hindi naman siya aggressive, 3 pa lang yung nakakagats. Um, okay.
May screening process kasi, mama. You can't just
mhm,
like, oh, I have money. I want to train my dog. Get my dog trained
mhm,
under by you.
Oh,
No, they have a
huh?
process. May screening.
mhm.
So,
Like what
Meron.
would
oh,
what would have a dog be eliminated from that screening?
If the dog is too dangerous for my staff, for myself, and even for the pet parents, maybe the age of the dog or even the medical condition of the dog. So, kasi let's face it naman, even if you go to the best surgeon, 'di ba? The surgeon would also make an assessment. I think the tumor's too big, it's too dangerous.
I
I
can't
won't be
help
able
you
to help you
anymore.
out, 'di ba? So meron naman kasing kanyang assessment or limitation yung bawat professional. So even for us, even if we know what to do, based on the profile of the pet parents and the dog, we try to make our best judgment if we can truly help them both. Because maybe we can help the dog, pero we cannot help the pet parent because they're so busy.
Or my
They're not willing to commit or they have
or
an
my
attitude.
attitude.
Diba?
Oh,
So,
they've turned down. They've turned down dogs
parang
because of
they're
the
giving up on
owners.
the dog. So, it's complicated, really.
Wow.
Oo.
Oh,
Because
this is so
remember,
interesting.
remember after the dog's trained, the owner will have to continue on with what the dog learned in school because it's
Mm,
the
Yeah.
dogs don't know any better. It's the owners. It's responsibility namin na continue on para ma-retain
Right.
ng aso yung training.
right.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So yan,
Mm.
very important. Okay. So sunod naman natin, that was good stuff. Sunod naman natin na i-share yung susunod na topic natin. Ito, research to ni Irene or ni Mrs. Coach. So gusto niya pakita to, gusto natin pag-usapan. Let's see, where is it?
Oh,
Okay.
the suspense. Coach, I cannot take this any longer. What is it?
All right. So here, this is the world's most
Oh,
energetic
oh my
sheepdog.
God.
Yeah.
I saw this and I'm like, I want this dog.
All right. So if you're wondering kung anong dog breed ito, I think it's a Kelpie. Oh yeah, actually sinabi niya sa video. This is an
Kelpie
Australian
dog.
Kelpie. Yeah, or sheepdog, Australian sheepdog. Pero very particular kasi hindi naman siya sheepdog talaga. It's actually an Australian cattle dog. Pero people call them a
It's
Kelpie. They are a very hardy, hardworking dog breed with unlimited energy
so
and
adorable.
ang special ability nila is katulad ng pinakita dun sa video is they actually hop on the sheep's back. Yun ang
Ah.
special
And what
ability
is the
nila.
purpose of that?
Oh,
Like
one
any
got
other
away.
sheepdog, ang gagawin nila is they're going to herd the sheep, make sure like that sheep got away,
Uh-huh.
pero they are able to process space and how to form a strategy that they are able to herd the cattle or sheep just by pouncing, barking, and intimidating the herd. So these are amazing dogs. And ito pa yun ha,
Wow.
you cannot just train any dog to do this. Kasi there's a
Mm.
big chance na dapat Kelpie talaga yung kunin mo. And then that Kelpie has this talent. Kasi this is something that the dog is born with. Hindi
That's
pwedeng parang
amazing.
you're going to let a Shih Tzu, coach, gusto kong mag-herd ng sheep yung Shih Tzu. I mean, that sheep is going to
You're
die.
eliminated. That's the process.
Diba? Ayan,
Oh
so
my
this
gosh,
is an
look.
amazing dog.
It is
Oh.
amazing.
Right.
Wow.
I thought
Like,
he was biting some of the sheeps on the butts. It looks like he was going for it.
ang
Yeah.
galing.
So there you
You
go,
know, he'd be
Australian Kelpie.
a Kelpie dog would be amazing at a rock concert. I feel like, it would be an amazing body surfing dog, you know? And it also reminds me of Jesus. Like, it'll probably go look for that one lost sheep.
Yeah,
It's
di
a
ba?
healthy dog.
Galing.
Oh, diba? Never leave a sheep
so good.
behind.
Alam mo yun, napasok
No
yun.
sheep left behind.
Wow. Wow, so
Alright.
Galing.
impressive.
I have a
I like.
question. Tina, what
Mhm.
would you do to save a dog's life? I mean, how far?
Yeah, Tina, because you love your dog. Like, love your dog.
How
Oh,
far?
I stopped traffic.
Yeah.
Nakalabas si Kofi. And I was like, kasi main road yung bahay ni Mami, di ba, coach?
How
As in,
about stopping a train?
oh my gosh, crazy as it may seem, but I think you all three know that I might just do that. I mean, I probably can't stop it, but I'll probably die
You
along with
try,
Cody or
right?
something. I
Right.
tried that. I die
Uh,
trying.
and that's actually what we're gonna show you up next. This is a video of a man saving a dog
Oh.
from an
Saw this too.
oncoming train, and then the dog is apparently got his leash stuck. So yeah,
Oh no.
there you go. So it's actually a yellow train, and that was like a split second
Parang
save.
movie, no?
Yeah, that was a split second save, like scary. So sabi ko
Where
nga, oh
are
my god,
they?
diba? I would probably do the same, but oh my god, I'm gonna die.
Gosh.
Jesus. Diba? So there you go.
Uh,
This is really
Dude.
shocking, guys. If you haven't seen the video because you're listening to the audio podcast. This is very stressful. This dog got stuck on the railway, and there was an oncoming train, and the dog got stuck. Siyempre, di siya makawala. And this man actually saved this dog's life.
is it even? Was it even his dog?
I don't. I
Diba?
haven't done
Split
enough.
second lang.
I haven't done enough research, pero this video has gone viral, diba? So
Wow.
shocking. All right, Tina. If
I
that
mean-
was us, what happens? I think I'm gonna die. I'll see you on the other side.
Oh, but I think you got all three of you would think
Uh-huh.
of me just like, okay, I'm on the other side now. Bye, you guys. Because I tried rescuing Kobe, diba? But I did like may parating na was it a kotse or a jeep? As in, nasigawan nga ako ni Mami. Kasi talagang, diba? Yung tili ko, dahil talagang both sides.
Mm.
May parating, nakaganon ako kasi nasa gitna si Kobe. So buti na lang nga hindi
Tapos?
mabilis masyado. Buti huminto sila parehas. Kasi kung di na nila ako nakita, oh my gosh. Ang laki-laki ko,
Oh.
'di ba? Kobe is so low. 'Di ba? Like low to the ground pa. Parang
Dahil guest natin si Sam, I got a question, and this is something that you probably talk about on the Narrow Doll podcast. Okay, so in that instance, okay, why do you think that happened? Na parang okay, a dog got stuck on a railway, train is coming, tapos you're standing there. What do you think God would want you to do at that very moment? Who's gonna be dictating? Is it gonna be your free will, or maybe it's something that God has planned for you to do, or was that a test? I just want to know, parang just a glimpse
Wow.
of what you talk about on the Narrow Door podcast.
Well, first of all, we've never talked about this on the Narrow Door podcast, so
Oh.
this is the first time.
Hello, this is the Nerd Dog podcast with me, your guest.
So is the question like, would God put you in a position like that? Like, would that
Yeah,
be God's will for you to find
yeah,
yourself in that kind of situation?
yeah. I mean, up to what point does God want you to do that? I mean, risking your life for a dog. I mean, does God even like the man or the whose fault is it? I mean, there's a lot of questions just by
Uy, ang
observing that
lalim niyan,
video,
ah.
di ba? So just siguro
Hmm.
patikim lang. So and maybe you can talk about this on your next episode.
Perhaps. Thank you, Coach. And Tina, please feel free to chime in. But my initial thoughts, like when I heard you, kind of like give me that situation was,
Mhm.
and I think this is something Tina and I talk about often, because I think a lot of us, when something bad happens to us,
Right.
our first reaction is like, how can you do this to me, God? Like, what have I
Yeah.
ever done to you? You know,
Right.
that kind of knee-jerk reaction, right? But I think when we find out more about God and his character and all that, um, you realize that God never wills suffering for you.
Uh huh.
These tragic situations, suffering in life, like, they do not come from God.
Hmm.
um if you're a believer, you also believe that there is an enemy in the world, and the enemy wants you to think that these things come from God so
I
that you can blame
see.
God. Yeah, and distance you from him. So yeah, there's that deception factor, right? So would God ever want me to be in a situation where I need to save a dog from an oncoming train? No. Would he want me to throw away my life?
Hmm.
Mm, I think it's pretty clear that man is the highest form of creation, right? And
Hmm.
so would he want me to? Over to you, Tina. Thank you. That's all I got.
I'm sorry for throwing such a complicated question, but
No,
No,
no.
okay.
No,
I
on the
want to hear
spot.
what it is. I want to know what it's like for a dog lover. Because
Oh, it's
I mean, I
different
don't
kasi
know.
for us.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Because I mean,
Oh.
love Covey. Dogs are adorable, but I don't have a dog. I don't know if I can really call myself a
That
dog
what if that
lover.
was a human being instead of a dog? Kasi, di ba?
Oh,
Same
okay.
weight.
I maybe that's that changes the situation a little bit, I
Uh-huh.
think. Yeah.
Kasi for dog
There's
lovers, we look
there's
at the dogs as if it's
Mhm.
human then, di ba? That's how much
Sure,
we love the
sure,
dog.
sure.
Pero
Right, right.
for what if that was like a small child naman, Sam?
Right. And I think there is a Bible verse that goes,
Mhm.
please don't quote me on this. This is not verbatim. I'm paraphrasing here. Something along the lines of, the greatest thing that you can do for someone is to lay down your life for them. Now, does that mean that God wants me to jump in front of a train? No. Again,
Mhm.
no, I don't think so. But given that situation, I think it would be a noble thing to, sacrifice in that way. I don't think God would frown at that. Um, yeah.
To
And there
ask,
was
And there was
no,
silence.
no,
silence for
no,
everyone
kasi,
because everybody was like thinking and then trying to process that. Okay, Tina, your
di ba
point.
ang galing? No, kasi I'll just add to what Sam mentioned earlier na parang we are so quick to blame God
Uh huh.
for every unfortunate event that's happened to us. When when you learn the Bible, um, you s- you come to a realization na hindi yun gusto ng Panginoon for us, Coach.
Hmm.
It's really the enemy trying to deceive us again to take him away
Hmm.
or to take us away
And
from him.
yeah, and I think we also like are, sometimes we deflect the blame also, because obviously, like, we're human beings with free will, and so we get to make these decisions, and there are consequences to the
Uh
decision.
huh.
But no, we always say like, God, how could you?
Mm.
You know?
Lagi, diba? Lagi. All the time. Whether it be losing a job or a relationship or even death
Hmm.
death of a loved
Hmm.
one. Diba? It's God wants eternal life for everybody. For us,
Hmm.
that's the way He designed it originally. But
Right. Well, the impression that I'm getting
Wow.
at right now is by the end of the day, God knows what He's doing. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Yes or no?
Sam,
And there was more silence. God,
no, kasi
what?
hindi, go
God
first.
knows what he's doing? What do you mean?
Again, He's all powerful, all knowing, di ba? Parang by the end of the day, maybe we
Mm.
won't understand, pero somehow He probably knows what's best. So whatever,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
whether you save the dog or not, uh, He probably knows what's best,
I
di ba?
like let's just say, Coach, coming from like coming from a dog lover,
Mm-hmm.
uh, syempre ako, yeah, I'd rescue the dog, but
Uh huh.
I don't think ipapahamak naman ako ng Panginoon. But if I did, and then if I did try to save the dog and something happened to me, then I
Uh
guess
huh.
that's my own free will. I decided to save the dog,
Right.
diba?
Right. And you'll
But
be
as human
judged based on
being,
your actions, right? So.
but I think as human beings also, parang given na sa atin dapat mabuti tayo, diba? Tumutulong tayo
Mm-hmm.
sa kapwa.
Mm-hmm.
But
Whether
at the
that
end
be
of
a
the day,
dog or a human.
oo.
Right. So, well, on that note, let's go on to the final video. This one, naman, is something to make
Shocking ba
it
to?
a little bit, light. No, that
Okay.
was the hard part already, because we're about to end the show. So, pero I love this discussion here, Sam. Again,
Yes.
thank you so much. My goodness, wow, such a wonderful guest, one of the best that we've had so far on the
Oh
start of
my
the year.
gosh.
And
Wala
Tina,
pang aso yan, ha?
bakit
Imagine mo.
bakit ang tali-talino naman nito? Parang naging banal yung show natin bigla, no?
Like
Maybe that's
Dog Behind the
God's
Human
plan.
X the Narrow
Right.
Door podcast.
All right.
The door behind the human.
So, ito naman, this is
Human. Ganda.
all right. So, ito
Yes.
naman, these are dogs that are complaining because they're waiting in the car and they're
Oh
honking
my God.
the cars. Yeah, they're just waiting for their owners. Di ba? Did they teach the dogs? Yun ang iniisip ko. Di ba? And of course, we do not want the dogs to be left behind a car.
Stop. I'm coming back.
Oh my gosh,
Ayan.
that is so funny.
There you go. See, these are dogs honking the horn while waiting for their owners. Diba?
Dog's
Ginawa
so
na ba
smart.
ito? Ginawa na ba ito ni Kobe dun sa car niyo?
Okay, I would just like to be straight with everybody
Uh-huh.
that Kovi's legs are not long enough to reach the
Oo nga naman. Oo nga naman.
No, and
Diba?
we will, I'll have to teach him to do it. But yeah, Kovi's
Can that be
legs
Oh,
are.
that's
trained?
funny.
Can that be trained? Of course you can train that. Pero dito, parang for some reason, the dog just pressed on it. So I don't know.
Yung
Yeah.
sa sasakyan namin matigas yung ano yung busina. Hindi ko kayanin yung short legs si Kofi.
Maybe he'd probably, jump and then push
Bounce
on
on
the
it.
horn.
Parang
pounce
hindi
on
pa
it?
rin. Oo,
Full body
parang hindi
weight?
pa rin.
Like
Bukas na
doing a
susubukan
CPR?
ko. Oo. I'll check tomorrow how far he can reach. And then, yeah.
Gawa ka ng TikTok video, di ba? Dogs doing that and then versus Kobe. No, my look at my arms, look at my feet, they're too short, di ba?
Kawawa naman yung anak ko.
Oh, Kobe.
Anyway,
Cute.
well, that's it. We're almost done. Pero Sam, please promote the Narrow Door podcast. When can they catch you? Do you do Facebook Live or how do they get in touch with you? And listen
We
to the
do
show.
not do live episodes. No.
Mhm.
We are a recorded podcast. We have a new episode every Monday and Thursday, which we release on YouTube and Spotify at 9 a.m. Yeah. that's the show, Narrador Podcast. Tina Ryan, myself. We have an amazing Bible instructor. His name is Instructor Aaron Russo. We have friends over and we just talk about our faith journeys and we talk about Bible. We talk about the book of Revelation. We're trying to figure out if this is the time of second coming, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Fun
Sounds
stuff.
really interesting. Uh-huh.
Oh, fun
Thank
stuff.
All right. Well, again, thank you so
Thank
much
you for your
being here.
time, Mama.
Uh-huh.
Super
Oh my
appreciate
gosh.
it.
Thank
Sana
you for
maulit.
inviting me.
I'm enjoying this
Yeah.
episode. Oo.
This was so fun. The hour just flew by. I don't know much about dogs, but I find this all so fascinating. So if you could have me again, I'd love to join you. So interesting.
Yay!
Yeah.
Compile more fun videos. Na, wag naman yung heart pounding.
So yeah, we have a variety. I love it.
It's a variety show about dogs.
Yeah.
So,
nako.
Coach, I'll see you soon. Mrs. Coach, it's good to see you. Oh, and also
Right.
you can catch
Also-
Sam on Good Times with No. She's there
Ooh.
to
Ooh.
know.
Oh.
Tonight you're doing one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the episode will be released tomorrow morning probably. But yes, I'm on there every week when
Please tell
Mo is
Mo
not
say
away.
Yeah.
We will. We will. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been on this podcast, right?
Yeah, thanks to you.
Yeah.
Thank
yeah.
you. He was super
All
cool
right.
and ang dami
Good
niyang
times.
shinare na misadventures with his dog. So, hey guys, if you haven't listened to that episode, please
It's on
search on our
YouTube.
previous episode and on YouTube. Mo just killed it. As in, super funny na mga kwento niya.
Like Sam did tonight. Like,
Yes,
Oh my-
super.
easily.
You're so biased, but I love you for it. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, before we end, kailangan kong pabasa sa iyo to.
Me?
Yes.
In Korean,
yes,
Mama. In
Is this
Korean.
a thing?
I'm just kidding.
Is this a thing
No,
on the
yeah.
show?
Yes, yes.
Ah, okay,
Alright.
okay. We're doing it live? Like, I mean, I'm not feeling conscious at all, guys. Seriously, gosh. Okay, all right, here we go. This is Ammo, and you are listening to The Dog Behind the Human with Dog Coach Francis, Mrs. Coach, and Tina Ryan.
Wow, like a pro.
Ang galing! Isa pa nga.
five more times na, Mama. 5 more takes.
Ang galing. All right. So, that's it for the show. This is your favorite Doggo podcast in the Philippines. This has been your host, Dog Coach Francis, with
Mrs. Coach.
and
Tina Ryan.
all right, saying keep healthy
Keep safe.
and
Don't forget
don't
to pet
forget
your
to
dog.
pet your dog.
Wala pa tayong practice.
Wala pang practice. We need to fix that, Sam. Sorry, we're
Do
parang
it
we're
again.
looking like
Do it again.
amateurs here. Dalawa kayo
I
dun
want to
sa-
join in the
Okay.
last part. Don't forget to pet
Okay.
your dog. Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Ano ba yun? Nakalimutan ko yung linya ko.
Keep healthy.
Okay. Keep healthy
Keep safe.
and
And don't
Don't
forget to pet your
pet your
dog.
Ano pa, sabay-sabay ba tayo?
sabay-sabay
Oo,
dapat.
dapat diba? Ano ba?
Ano ba?
Sorry naman. Okay. Take 3.
Okay.
Akala ko
Okay.
dalawa lang sila.
Okay. Keep healthy
Keep safe.
and
don't
don't
forget-
forget.
Don't forget to pet your dog.
We'll take that as it is. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.